What's up guys, Cocojobro here and welcome back to another episode of Shrine Guide. In today's episode, again, we're going to be going through what I think are the best perks, and let me just tell you, the Shrine of Secrets has a lot of good perks in this one. So definitely I hope you've been saving up your shards because this one's a doozy, so let's go right into it. So here we have, again, 2 killer perks and 2 survivor perks that are going to help you out. So if you guys, again, are kind of short on cash but you have enough shards, then you can already grab these. So let's go to the weakest one and then make our way up. So this is a Nia teachable. This one's called Streetwise. Mainly what it does is it reduces the consumption rate of items by 15%. So that's your maps, if you're trying to just look for totems, or maybe the gens, maybe even hatch 2. Your flashlight, so if you got flashlight saves in your blood and you love doing those and you ran out of a battery, right? Well, this is going to help you reduce that by 15% as well. And then also too, you got your toolboxes. There was a nerf recently which people love to use toolboxes to gen rush, and now it's actually more geared, or maybe the devs are trying to push people more towards sabo plays by using your toolbox to sabo hooks. So that will reduce the consumption. If you want to do, you know, a little bit of gen rushing to maybe top off that last 25% of a gen, then you can do that too and have about 15% more to help you with that. So this one, in my opinion, you know, it's all right. They did add a little buff. If your friends are in 8 meters of you, then they can have that 15-second of 15% reduction or consumption rate. So I think it's kind of cool. Kind of gives me like a little bit of, like, you know, some of those like Overwatch vibes, you know, oh, I'm the healer, I'm gonna buff your damage, or I'm gonna, you know, buff your defense. So it kind of gives a little bit of that to me. Let's go over to the other survivor perk. So this one's called Saboteur. This one's actually really cool. Mainly what this does is it actually does 2 things. The first thing is, if you're being if you're being carried by the by the killer, you can see the hooks. It's actually really cool. And it says right here, you see hook ores in 56-meter radius from the pickup spot of a survivor that's being carried. So that's actually really cool. Like, you can see all the hooks. So if you're trying to sabo hooks, you'll already know where to go, and it's actually really helpful. So I think that's really cool. And it also grants you the ability to not need a toolbox. Now this one says 90 seconds, but it actually tier 3 lets you do this every minute, every 60 seconds. So 2.5 seconds, believe it or not, is not that slow. It's actually really fast. If you see the killer picking the survivor up, it takes them about, you know, a couple seconds to get to a hook. If you time it just right, you can get that killer to waste time going to a specific hook. Then you can sabo it, and then the killer has to look for another hook. Maybe your friends want to get a body block because your friend's dead on hook. It gives you more room. It gives you more wiggle room. Yeah, get it? It gives you more room in order to have your friends wiggle off of the killer's shoulders. So I think it's cool. I think it rocks. You can do other stuff where you can bring in certain toolboxes that help you with saboing, and you can do other add-ons that help you. I know there's 2 different add-ons that mainly it breaks it down to about 0.9 seconds worth of saboing. So 2.5 seconds or 0.9. Maybe you know, again, want to take a body block and then you want to sabo really fast. I've done plays where I've body blocked, the killer wipes the blood off, and in that animation I'm able to sabo and dead hard. So it's awesome. You can make some combos with Saboteur or just use a toolbox. Okay, so the killer perks are actually really good. I looked at both of these, I'm like, holy crap, dude, you guys are so blessed. So play with your food. Oh, by the way, this is a Jake teachable. So Saboteur is Jake teachable. Play with your food is a shape teachable. So this one's actually really cool. Michael Myers has this where you have an obsession, and if you let your obsession go from a chase, so you have to start the chase, you have to hear the music, the bongos going, you know, the chase music. So get that chase going and then just let them be. If you're playing Michael, this is really cool. You can start the chase and then just stalk them, and people are just gonna run away because they don't want to be stalked by Michael. Who wants? Maybe some of you know, More me, Michael Daddy. Some of you guys, I see your names out there. So mainly what this does at tier 1, it's 3% movement boost, but at tier 3, if you start a chase with someone and then just go away, you get a 5% increase in your speed as a killer. Now this is really cool because most killers are 115%. Us as survivors, or if you're a survivor main, you run at 100% and the killer runs at 115. Now if they do this 3 times, your killer is going to be running at 130%. If you're not ready for this, this can really throw you off. This is really good with M1 killers like Leatherface, maybe Demogorgon can use this, Trapper, even Michael Myers can really benefit from these perks. And the reason why is because they don't have anything like Huntress or Deathslinger that are range attackers. You know, Hag can appear and cut a chase off. So you have these M1 killers that can really shine from this. Also too, you can pair this up with so many perks. It's actually ridiculous. You can run this with there's one called Fugitive Chase. It's a Ghostface perk, and mainly what happens is when your obsession is hooked, that you can get a 4-meter reduction on your terror radius. Now this is wild because a lot of killers have a 32 meter, so if you can do this 4 times in a game, that's 16. So now you have half of your killer radius. Michael has a 6 meter at tier 1. Huntress also has one at 20 meters, but also too, and correct me if I'm wrong, she has a humming terror radius when she's humming her lullaby, which is non-directional, which is really good. That's 40 meters too. So you can reduce your actual terror radius. You can cause anxiety with your humming, and then they're like, I don't know where you're coming from. Where are they coming from? And then before they know it, you're already on their tails. Also to Deathslinger, Hag, Spirit, they have a 24 meter radius. So if you reduce that by 16, that's really good. They just go down to 8 meters. So that's actually really dirty. That's pretty much the length of the killer shack from door to door, and that's gonna really surprise you. So you can do that. Something to make you not lose your obsessions is actually running Nemesis. That's an Oni perk. So mainly what that does is if you get flashlighted, if you get head on with the locker stun, if you get DS'd, if you get flashlight saved, if you get anything that has a stun effect, pallet saves, then those people become your obsession. You hook them, you lose 4 meters. You hook the next person that wants to troll you or pallet slam you, lose 4 meters once you complete that chase. Maybe you're chasing them and then you lose chase. Hey, you have play with your food and now you gain speed. So it's a win-win if you want to stack that with this perk. So play with your food, get it. It's pretty cool. So the last one I think that's also really good as well is Nurse's Calling. So this is a nurse perk. It's actually her level 40 perk. So I think this is a steal to get for only 2,000 shards. Just play a couple games for a couple hours, gain those shards, grab this. Mainly what it does is it allows you to have a aura reading ability, so you can see people when they're healing. It's really cool. If someone's healing in the open, obviously you can see them, but then when they're healing behind a door or a rock or a window or killer shack, you'll know where they're at too. Now this happens at 20 meters. Tier 3 is 28 meters. That's really good. The only problem with this is don't run this with, if you're running with Deathslinger, people who are doing borrowed time plays, the Legion. You don't pick up mending. Mending is a totally separate category than healing. So if they're self-healing, their friends healing them off the ground. I really like it though when you can see these aura reading abilities, because then you can tell, are they self-healing by themselves or is there 2 people there? So then let's say for instance, the game's down to 3 people. Well, I know 2 people are right here and there's one person that's probably off in no man's land. I don't know where they're at, but then as a killer, that brings you comfort because now no one's on gens. So that's pretty cool. It's kind of a nice little one. Some people like to run this on Ghostface because once you cloak, no one knows where you are. and then they'll probably think, oh, I'm safe to heal, let me heal in this corner, and then you get them right there when they least expect it. Some people like to run this on the Huntress too as well. You can run it on whatever you like. Personally for me, I love playing Huntress. Back in the day, I used to do barbecue and chili, nurses calling, and then also 2 whispers. I love to know where people are, and you can also even run it with Bitter Murmur. Bitter Murmur is really good. If you're getting gen rush, you'll know which direction the survivors are going. If you want to know where someone that you injured is, you got them in a certain area but you just don't know where they're at, clean them up with nurses calling and you'll know where they're healing. So there's a lot of good perks, guys. There's so much to choose from. Streetwise is definitely a no-go for me. Saboteur, it's really fun if you want to be a team player and help your team out. Maybe you're not good at flashlight saves, but you want to get these hooks saboed. Try it out. I think it's really good. Play with your food. If you're a killer and you're not good at ending your chases, or you want to pick up the pace a little bit, then go ahead and run play with your food. Again, I told you there's a bunch of perks that you can combo them with. And then lastly, you have Nurses Calling. Nurses Calling is beautiful if you're trying to track people and know where they are. So again, guys, that's my list. Make sure to save up your shards because you never know what's going to come next. Again, if you don't have the money to buy these DLCs, it's actually really cool that you can just purchase these items. Again, also too, we stream live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Cocojobro. So if you want to watch me play killer or survivor, I actually do both. So I like to be more balanced in both, just so I have more knowledge to help you guys out in both your killer and survivor games. So thank you guys so much again for watching. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to our channel. Also head over to our Twitch channel. Again, hit us with the follow too as well. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.